Fashion, glamour, beauty. These are the words that often come to mind when we think of the fashion industry. These words evoke images of dazzling runways, luxurious fabrics, and aspirational lifestyles. We imagine the glitz and the glamour, the high-end stores, and the exclusive collections. We, the consumers, are captivated by the allure of new trends, the promise of self-expression, and the thrill of a coveted purchase. The excitement of owning something new, something that sets us apart, is intoxicating. But beneath this shimmering facade lies a dark and disturbing reality. A reality that is often hidden from the glossy pages of fashion magazines and the bright lights of the runway. The fashion industry, built on fleeting trends and insatiable consumption, has a hidden cost, one paid for by vulnerable workers, our environment, and our very souls. The true price of fashion is far greater than the tag on a dress. We rarely stop to think about the hands that stitched our clothes, the resources used to create them, or the environmental impact of our purchases. The human and ecological toll is immense, yet often overlooked. The truth is often hidden, buried under layers of marketing and carefully crafted brand images. These images are designed to sell a dream, a lifestyle, but they obscure the harsh realities. It's time to peel back the layers of this glamorous illusion and confront the uncomfortable truths behind our fashion choices. We must look beyond the surface and see the real story. The first step towards change is awareness. By educating ourselves and others, we can begin to make more informed and ethical choices. Are you ready to see? Are you prepared to look beyond the sparkle and confront the reality? The choice is yours. Fast fashion, with its relentless cycle of cheap clothing and fleeting trends, thrives on exploitation. The allure of trendy, affordable clothing masks a darker reality. Garment workers, mostly women and young girls in developing countries, are trapped in a system of modern-day slavery. They work tirelessly, often in unsafe and unsanitary conditions, to produce the clothes we wear. They endure inhumane working conditions, forced overtime, and poverty wages, all to feed our insatiable appetite for cheap clothing. Many of these workers are denied basic human rights and are subjected to verbal and physical abuse. Remember the Rana Plaza collapse in Bangladesh? It was a stark reminder of the dangers these workers face daily. Over 1,100 garment workers, mostly young women, lost their lives when the building housing factories for major global brands crumbled. The tragedy highlighted the negligence and greed of those in power. Their crime, making clothes for us, the consumers, at a price we were willing to pay. We often overlook the true cost of these bargains. This tragic event exposed the human cost of our addiction to cheap fashion. It serves as a call to action for consumers to demand better practices and to support ethical fashion brands. The environmental impact of fast fashion is equally devastating. The rapid production cycles and constant demand for new styles lead to an unsustainable strain on our environment. The fashion industry is a thirsty beast, consuming vast amounts of water and resources to produce clothes that are often discarded after a few wears. Cotton, a primary material, requires enormous quantities of water, contributing to water scarcity in many regions. Toxic chemicals used in dyes and fabric treatments pollute our rivers and soil, poisoning communities and ecosystems. These pollutants can have long-lasting effects, disrupting local wildlife and contaminating drinking water sources. Mountains of discarded clothing, often ending up in landfills or incinerated, release harmful greenhouse gases, further fueling the climate crisis. The sheer volume of waste generated by fast fashion is staggering, with millions of tons of textiles discarded each year. The fashion industry is a major polluter, second only to the oil industry. Its carbon footprint is immense, contributing significantly to global warming and environmental degradation. Our planet is choking on our fashion addiction. It's time to rethink our consumption habits and move towards more sustainable and ethical fashion choices. Section 4, the pressure to consume. Fast fashion doesn't just exploit workers and the environment, it also manipulates us, the consumers. We are bombarded with advertising, social media influencers, and celebrity endorsements, all pushing the latest trends and fueling a culture of instant gratification and overconsumption. This constant pressure to consume creates a cycle of dissatisfaction. We are made to feel inadequate if we don't have the latest IT bag or the newest sneakers. Our self-worth becomes tied to our possessions, leading to a never-ending cycle of buying, wearing once, and discarding. Section 5, breaking the cycle. The good news: we have the power to break this cycle. As consumers, our choices matter. We can choose to support ethical brands, buy less but buy better, and embrace sustainable fashion choices. We can educate ourselves about the origins of our clothes, support fair trade practices, and demand transparency from brands. Let's choose to value quality over quantity, durability over disposability, and ethical production over fast fashion's unsustainable practices. Section 6, a call to action. The fashion industry needs a revolution that puts people and the planet before profit, a revolution that values ethical production, sustainable practices, and timeless design. Let's use our voices and our wallets to demand change. Let's support brands that align with our values. Let's choose to be conscious consumers, aware of the impact of our choices. The future of